All right, turning now to the very latest on the crisis in Ukraine. It's now been a week since Russia first invaded. We have some new video into our newsroom showing a Ukrainian oil depot on fire. You see the huge plumes of black smoke coming from the refinery after it was struck by a shell.
Yeah, Russia not letting up attacks on military infrastructure, cities and ports, despite new word this morning from Russia's foreign minister saying Moscow is ready for talks to end the fighting. Kayla Fish tracking the very latest.
Well, Russian troops have now taken control of a port city in southern Ukraine as they continue to surround and attack the capital city of Kyiv. In fact, a CBS News crew witnessing it all, capturing explosions just seconds after finishing a live report last night. Take a listen. Whoa. You can hear the explosions in the background. The reporter you see there, Charlie D'Agata, said it was almost like lightning. A producer there called it the biggest blast that they'd ever seen in the sky over Kyiv. Now, since Russia began its invasion 1 week ago, the UN Human Rights Office says at least 227 Ukrainian civilians have been killed, hundreds more injured, though they believe that number is a vast undercount. Ukraine estimates 2,000 civilians have been killed so far. The U.S. Secretary of State says Russian strikes are hitting schools, hospitals, and residences. The prosecutor of the International Criminal Court announced an investigation into possible war crimes and crimes against humanity. Yesterday, the UN General Assembly voted to condemn Russia's actions. And as Ukraine continues to put up a fierce resistance, officials believe that Russia is preparing to increase the brutality of its campaign.
We've seen videos of Russian forces moving exceptionally lethal weaponry into Ukraine. That includes cluster munitions and vacuum bombs, which are banned under the Geneva Convention.
We're keeping the door open to a diplomatic way forward. That's going to be very hard to happen without military de-escalation.
Now, more than 2% of Ukraine's population has fled the country, and Governor McKee has said that Rhode Island is open to accepting Ukrainian refugees. But despite that offer, it could take years before any actually make it here to the ocean state. We'll have more on that coming up in the next half hour. For now, live in studio, I'm Kayla Fish, 12 News.
More in-depth coverage now of the Ukraine crisis. Earlier this week, Governor McKee sent a letter to President Biden offering to accept Ukrainian refugees here in Rhode Island.
However, it could be quite some time before they would actually make it here. And 12 News reporter Kayla Fish is live in our studio with more on what that process could look like. Kayla.
Hey, good morning, guys. Well, 12 News spoke with the nonprofit Dorcas International. This group would be the ones helping those refugees when they come here, similar to when refugees from Afghanistan came to Rhode Island. And as you just heard, more than 1 million Ukrainians have already fled the country, and the UN Refugee Agency has predicted up to 4 million people could eventually leave Ukraine. Officials say this has the potential to be the biggest refugee crisis of the century. But regardless of these dire circumstances and Governor McKee's letter to President Biden offering to take in refugees, Dorcas International tells 12 News that it could take years before any arrive here, and that's due to the lengthy international and federal process.
In addition to the trauma of fearing for your life, you're kind of stuck in a limbo it can be, as few as 2 years, as many as 20 plus years. Right now, Congress is considering providing temporary protected status, which allows folks to come in without having to wait for the United Nations to establish them as refugees.
URI will be holding a peace vigil for Ukraine tonight at 5 p.m. That's happening in front of the Multicultural Student Services Center on the university's Kingston campus. The school says all are welcome. Live in studio, I'm Kayla Fish, 12 News.